Hull City are set for an all-star summer and still no word on the Hull City manager. Yes, hello then, welcome back to the HullCityFanCentral YouTube channel, where today we'll be covering all of the little bits of news, transfer rumours, all of the manager goodness, as we crack into another week without any update on who the Hull City manager is. Baz Cooper has come out saying that it most likely will not be announced this week after it being said to be announced this week or last week. Apparently no word this week, as the deal hasn't progressed so much further to the point where they can announce it. But still, people remain relaxed in the backroom staff at Hull City, so nothing to worry about so far. It's still seeming it's going to be Tim Walter. Of course, there's a lot of new managers just come on the market, if that's a turn of phrase, with obviously Chelsea and Brighton and all bits like that. So whether that could be factoring into the decision, I doubt it, because the likelihood is none of them managers will be looking for a move to Hull City. So yeah, we'll wait and hear if there's any more news on that front. Leading on from the manager front, let's talk about the former Hull City manager, Liam Rosenior. So Liam Rosenior, it's been sort of the going task of this summer. Where will he next land after leaving Hull City 3 days after the season ended? And he's turned down a few jobs, and he's been rumoured with a few jobs. He's turned down the Plymouth job already. He's turned down the Huddersfield job already, obviously. He said that he won't be keen on doing the Birmingham City job if it does come around. But he has been linked with the Chelsea job and also the Brighton job, so we'll see where this one lies. Of course, it's nice to sort of see if Liam Rosenior can do something good, especially at a club like Brighton or even Chelsea, dare I say it. So it'll be an interesting one, none the least. So let's crack into some transfer rumours. So we'll save the big one for the end, being Brian Reynolds, which I'm sure some of you may be familiar with. So let's start off with a Sheffield United man. So Hull City are interested in signing Oliver Norwood on a free transfer this summer. So he was playing at Sheffield United last season, was not given a new contract as this season ended, and so he has left the club. The Sheffield United captain for a long time. He's scored quite a few good goals and contributed quite nicely to Sheffield United over the course of his time at the club. And I think that if it does come off, it'll be a good signing. Have him in there, a nice sort of partnership, as it would be in the Hull City squad. So he's sort of that complementary aspect to Seri. I think that to have him alongside Seri in that defensive midfielder partnership, I think it would work wonders, because he has sort of that sort of grounded aspect to his game that we kind of need. That bit more of an aggressive sort of defensive midfielder. And especially with us losing Doherty, which was that sort of style player. Of course, he wouldn't be playing because he's not quite up to the standard of Norwood. But certainly an interesting one to keep an eye on. And with it being a free transfer, can't go too wrong. Similar with the Billy Sharp case. Billy Sharp, it didn't work out. It was a free transfer. We've only lost out on the money on the wages, which we kind of made up for with his experience that he brought into the dressing room and onto the other strikers at the club. Talking about strikers, we don't have a striker on the cards. Yes, Hull City do not have a first-team striker at the club after the retained list and all of the loans have gone back. Go onto the website, you can see the team. You got your goalkeepers, you got your defenders, you've got your midfielders, but you've got no strikers. So that will definitely be a big market the Hull City will be looking to tap into this coming summer transfer window. Of course, we have had a little bit of trouble with strikers in the seasons prior. And not only do we want some strikers, we need a depth of good strikers. As we have seen this season and the season beforehand, strikers can get injured, and if they do so, they're going to be out for a little stretch of time. And even then, they're not promised to come back to their goal-scoring ways, which is what you need from a striker. Of course, Adrian said that he wants his goals to come from everywhere on the pitch, and is hoping that Tim Walter can provide that. But you still need your striker to grab them goals. He's there to grab the goals. Yeah, let's see if the summer does benefit Hull City in that capacity. Of course, we're still on the hunt for Liam Delap. with that £10 million deal from Man City, and obviously some more strikers around the parts. One more player that Hull City might be looking to replace, of course, the departures of the two Liverpool loanees, Carvalho and Tyler Morton, will be looking to be replaced by a loanee signing of James McConnell. So James McConnell, obviously a young lad from Liverpool, not from Liverpool, but a young lad in the Liverpool academy setup. He has done quite well in sort of in the past season or two, really staking a name for himself and claiming his name. Would be interesting if he can come to Hull. I think this deal is one of them ones that will probably be one of the first ones to be announced, as it does seem quite nailed on at the moment, unless there is obviously other clubs come into the running, but certainly will be an interesting one to catch the developments of. I think that he can benefit at Hull City. Whether he'll benefit under the new manager, Tim Walter, it could possibly happen, of course, because Tim Walter, Jurgen Klopp, there has been noted the comparisons between the two, and obviously no longer Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. So who really knows on that front? It's a lot of speculation at the moment before anything gets solidified. I think it won't get solidified until the new manager comes in, who really has that sort of that final say within transfers and all the malarkey. We'll just feed on one more before we move on to Brian Reynolds, and that is a little bit more on manager. So Steve Bruce has had quite a few sort of radio appearances and different interviews and stuff with feeding off the 10-year anniversary of the FA Cup final for Hull City, and he says that he will be happy to come back and do another job at the club. He says he's not received a phone call as of yet. I mean, this was a week ago, so things could have changed that time. Maybe that's why the Tim Walter deal slowed down, but he's happy to come back. He says if he picks up the phone, who knows? So it will be an interesting one to get Steve Bruce back if it does happen. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it. It's one of them things where you don't really want to tarnish what he's done in seasons prior for Hull City. One of the best, if not the best manager Hull City have had, bringing us to heights we've never achieved before and have not achieved since. Under a new owner, I think he'd be happy at the club. He can get in the players that he wants. He can do what he wants. Of course, he's not been in a managerial job since season and a half, 2 seasons ago now. So that's something to sort of take into aspect about it. Not obviously nothing too major. Of course, if he comes back, there is the chance then that he's not as good as he was before, and that he sort of doesn't really perform to the standard that we want the club to perform at the moment. And that doesn't only tarnish what the club's achieving at the moment, but it tarnishes Steve Bruce's sort of legacy at Hull City, a man who has taken us to playoff finals, to FA Cup finals, the man who's promoted us to the Premier League twice. Kind of tarnishes all of that going on. So, yeah. Hopefully, if anything does come out of it, it's a positive case. So, Brian Reynolds, an attacking right back from Westerlo, of course. He's had a fantastic season. That's one of the reasons why he is rumoured over a potential move to the MKM Stadium. Not only is he rumoured over a move to us, he's rumoured over a move to France. And also, funny enough, he is rumoured to get a move over to Turkey, of course. Whether that can be something feeding into the factor, of course, going to Turkey, then maybe coming to us on loan, of course, with our Adrenal Jali links. It will be an interesting case, I think, but we have opened up the talks to sign the international player, and it does seem that it's going to be a permanent deal if it does come off. The rumour mill has started up with it once again, and it does seem that he wants to come. Whether that's feeding off the back of Cyrus Christie's departure and seeing that job there at the right back, and he can probably take that role off Louis Coyle. I certainly would want him starting over Louis Coyle, and then having Louis Coyle on the bench to come on in key moments or whatever. There was a reported 3.5 million fee that he signed for Westerlo last summer from Roma. That will probably increase, but who knows? It's gonna be an interesting one to follow, I think, this summer. He has been monitored by quite a few different clubs after having quite an impressive season over in Belgium. And it's fair to say that he'll have his pick of the bunch. Whether Hull City is one of them teams that he does come to, who knows? He played 33 matches last season, started all 33 of them, created 2 assists, 2 big chances created, 3 clean sheets. Interceptions per game 1.1, tackles per game 1.8, balls recovered per game 5.6, dribble pass per game 0.6, and duels won per game 4.5. So not impressive numbers. Of course, because Westerlo haven't done overly great, or they're not one of the greatest clubs in the world for competitive style. But having played consistent games, starting consistently, he would provide a significant competition for Louis Coyle. Of course, Louis Coyle really doesn't have any competition at that right back role. Bregan Slater maybe, but you kind of want to see the players playing in their comfortable roles next season, rather than having this dot and dash with where you could have Ryan Alsop playing striker. You want to sort of see players playing in their traditional roles, in their normal outfits. So it will be an interesting one to keep an eye on once again. I will keep you up to date on all of these transfer rumours and news as we make our way into the into the summer transfer window, I should say, not the January one. That's still got quite a bit of time before we go there. And hopefully by then we'll have a manager, whether that's Tim Walter, whether that's Steve Bruce, who knows. So make sure you like and subscribe so you do not miss out on any more Hull City news and content like this. And I will see you in the next video. Up the Tigers, go on.